Alright folks, intro to my Alaskan do-it-yourself mill, and just wanted to, look, my glasses are fogging up. It's up to 85, 90 degrees here almost already where I'm at, so I've been outside trying to hump this old fat body around and get some work done. Haha. So anyway, the rest of the concept struck me, and I was able to solve a few mysteries with my setup on my Alaskan mill, and couldn't hold myself back. I had to go out and try it. So here's the deal. What can you accomplish with a 24-inch wide 1x4, 6 inches wide, 24 inches long, 6 inches wide, 2 threaded rods, 3 nuts, 4 washers, oh no, that's 6 nuts, 4 washers, and a Poland 42cc from Harbor Freight. Well, watch the rest of this and you'll see. It's pretty cool. Drilled the 1-inch holes for the rods that I'll use on the Alaskan sawmill. I did this before, but when I cut that square piece out, I used my, what do they call this, an oscillating sander right here for rounding off the front edges and the back edges of the board, and then putting a nice little kerf here on the edge so I don't get splinters and issues like that on the board before I drilled it for that pattern. Now the second stage is going to be for the saw blade, which is sitting right here behind me, and it's an 18-inch saw blade, as you can see. We're going to have to put a hole. I'm going to have to probably design something to set this up so it sets flat on the blade end, or I'm going to have to take the blade all the way off, which I really don't want to do, but if I have to, I will do so. This is a Poland Pro. Already done some serious forestry with it already, and she actually turned out to be a better performer than I thought she would be on a saw. So now we'll see if she works out to be just as well a Alaskan plane saw. I mean, not a plane saw, but Alaskan sawmill. So, all right, we'll get this set up and I'll be right back. All right, now something to mention here, not being a chain saw connoisseur or expert here, there's this here, but here's where your bearing piece is. I'm not sure what that's for, so I don't want to really dig there. So I figured I'd cut here, and I'd cut a piece, or drill a hole about here, which will give me just about, I think, roughly 12 inches. It'll give me roughly 12 inches of, I had a cameraman, should give me about 12 inches cutting area inside of the rod, and so anything that's over 12-inch circumference won't be an ideal log for me to work with. I'll end up probably having to trim her down until the square sides are all into that dimension, so the sled and the bars will pass alongside each side. But those are the things you think about when you're doing it. I could probably get away with putting a 20-inch bar on this and increasing the the length on it, but then again, when you do that, you're added more torque and drag on that 42cc engine, and better just to work with what you got and not with what you have not. So thank you, Phineas Fogg, for that quote. All right, back to marking that fucker and setting this up, marking that thing, and drilling the holes. Alright, we're getting ready to do that. Got my little oil bottle here just to kind of lube up that drill spot. And the reason I propped this up the way I did is to ensure that I don't bend my saw blade, or bar actually is what they call it. That piece through, and then I'll file it out and round her off, and then so now I want to do a little marking, squaring up here. I'm going to put my ink pen, oh, there she is. Use this to mark the outer edge, which will actually mark into the center. And we'll get this is 2.5 inches, and which makes that a little bit up this way. Right to about there. So, got that position in, and drill's still good and sharp. So you know what? I'm going to actually have to countersink here first. Where she needs to start. Sunk, countersunked it in the bug tree top. Another song, never sang it before. So, got our hole started, lubed up. A little bit of oil. don't know if air compressor oil doing all the work is a good thing for it, but you know, I was told that lubricant is a lubricant and it's only effective if you use it. So we're using the piss out of it. Woo! And looks like we're pretty good through. And we are through. Cleaned out and through there, folks. There we go. Now I'm going to go clean this up and then we'll be right back. Anyway, I don't know how much I missed. Again, freaking Camry. I'm a lousy cameraman here. Need to hire me one or find a friend that wants to hang out and do this type of stuff in the wood shop. Anyway, I got the nut here, but I'm just going to show you a quick how this is going to work. What you're going to do is you're going to set this like this on your sled. And the section just below that is the depth that you're going to set this to cut your timber. And what you're going to do is you're going to run this bad boy. These are going to be anchored down on the log. And you're just going to run this chainsaw and run it along this sled on top and these rails. And bada bing, bada boom. There's going to be bad boy howdy. You're going to have yourself some nice slabs. A friend of mine just called. They got a couple of trees they found out back. One's a tamarack and another one is a fir. So I'm going to be able to get some nice slabs out of those small trees. And then got to find another birch where I can get a nice 6-foot piece and then quarter it for staves. Future project here is going to be a birch longbow, and see if I got what it takes. That's it. Huh?
Stop it. Stop it.
Ladies and germs and gentlemen. All right, I finally pulled it off. I accomplished, let me put my glasses on so I can see here. I have accomplished the homemade, do-it-yourself Alaskan mill. What I did is I used rods. I made my flat board right here, as you can see right here. Drilled it. It's got plenty of holes in there because I wasn't sure exactly where I wanted to put it. But when I figured it out, it's working perfect. Then these blocks, all I did was tighten it between the wood and the chainsaw bar, and that stabilized the whole piece onto the blade and also on the workout side. As you notice in the earlier in the video, I had a 2x4 run clear down, attached it with 2 screws so it didn't go too deep. I am going to make those blocks a little bit wider, but you know, that gives me a 4-inch cut, which in my opinion is great for slabs. Maybe not, I don't know. I'm an apprentice here, so I'm sure I'm going to get some good woodworkers comments about this, and that'll be good advice that I can get. Maybe I'll downsize it to 3 inches. Who knows? And then I double nutted it on the bottom so that they didn't undo and untwist. And believe it or not, I accomplished exactly what I set out to do with a 42cc Poland Pro Harbor Freight chainsaw into an Alaskan mill. I will be cutting off some of the extended pieces, which will be good. But anyway, and I still haven't got to my shop yet. I got that in my head and figured it out and figured I'd do this. But now this birch is still sappy wet. I mean, it's wet. But I figure once I cut it and I stack it, put little stickers between it, and put an extra weight on top of it, I'll let it dry naturally in the corner of my shop. And we should be, I'm telling you, it should be pretty good. But I worked myself out doing this, and I'm out of breath, but I am happy as a bug in a rug, or something to that effect. Anyway, I'm as happy as an engineer with a stick of dynamite. Anyway, but I'm going to cut this. Actually, I was looking at the grain, and I like the pattern of the grain and the knots that are showing up on these first cuts, so I'm actually going to maybe just cut this whole thing through at this width, because by the time I get to the middle, I'll be at about 10 inches to 8 inches, 8 to 10 inches wide, and that'll give me a couple of good thick slabs or wide slabs, but it'll give me a bunch of 6-inch material too to work with. So anyway, and that old yard sale coffee table, it did a ringer. All I did was run a board here with a metal inside brace point, and then on the outside here, on the opposite side, I stuck a couple of wedges in, screwed them into place, and bada bing, bada boom, we got ourselves an Alaskan mill stand and an Alaskan mill saw now. Anyway, this is Elwood Blues. Thank you for joining me on this project as well. Thank you. Bye.